Hi guys, today on Robot Hacking Tips, I will show you a better way to take control of the robot, not from RQT robot steering and not from a gamepad, but we will use radio controller. If you want to know why I prefer this, so let's get started. The radio controller, or in short as RC, are two components as transmitter and receiver. There are tons of brand and type of the RC. It's designed for drone, boat, plane, racing cars, and many radio vehicles. Well, we can use this advantage to control the robot because either RC racing car or mobile robot is the same thing as wheels, motors, body, and moving around as what we want. The difference is for mobile robot in the end is supposed to be autonomous driving, but for development stage sometimes we want to manually control it to avoid it hitting someone or something. In robot or ROS world, mostly people are using RQT robot steering GUI on host computer to send command velocity topic to move the robot, and also a gamepad with analog sticks and buttons. And if you are one of those people, there is nothing wrong from what you are doing, it's totally fine, but let me show you a better way. If we compare those together, we could see in terms of range, the RQT robot steering depends on Wi-Fi signal and normally is around 50 meters. For gamepad, if you use BLE or Bluetooth, the range is much shorter to somewhere around 10 meters, but for radio controller, you can have like a football field or around 100 to 300 meters. For portability, how easy you can carry and move it around, for RQT robot steering, you will need to carry a host computer or laptop which has ROS running on it. For gamepad, the device itself is lightweight and just BLE module on the robot side. For radio controller, you just carry the radio transmitter and the receiver will be on the robot side. For input channel, the RQT robot steering is only sending command velocity topics, which is quite limited. For gamepad, you can have 8 to 10 buttons and 4 to 6 analogs, but note that each gamepad has its own configuration, so it's not a standard. For radio controller, it has something from 6 to 16 channels, proportional sticks and switches, and it has a bus protocol standard. From all of the advantages, that's why radio controller is a suggestion for robot development as best practice. Let's say your robot is Raspberry Pi 5 and here you will need some way to read data from RC receiver. The most common way is to read ppm or PWM of each channel, but I don't suggest to do so because you will need one line for one channel. A better way is to use S-bus signal. S-bus is a custom protocol from Futaba and widely used for many RC, so in one line you can read all 16 channels of the input sticks and switches. But the thing is, the serial configuration for S-bus is 100,000 baud rate, 8 data, even parity, and 2 stop bits, and moreover, the signal is electrically inverted, which makes it a bit difficult to handle for regular UART. But the good news is there is a device which can convert raw S-bus data into regular UART, and we can just read it as regular 35 bytes, then construct it back as 16 channels and failsafe flag. You can search it on store like AliExpress for S-bus to UART converter. And here is the connection diagram. The RC receiver S-bus port is connected to this device, and on another end will connect to Raspberry Pi UART RX, and that's it. Here I made a ROS2 package called Logicool, which is from Japanese of radio controller, so you can start it up quickly. I will put the link in the description below. Here is the setup according to the connection diagram before. Once you turn on transmitter, the LED on receiver will be green and data will start transmitting. On first terminal, if I list dev TTY devices, so you could see dev TTY AMA0, which is the UART we connected to. If you don't see that, you will need to open boot firmware configs.txt and add dt param equal UART0 equal on, save, then reboot again. Then we just need to run ROS2 run Logicool S-bus to UART. Then if we do ROS2 topic list, you could see S-bus CH for channels and S-bus FS for failsafe topics. You will see all 16 channels and the failsafe flag, and if I move the stick, you will see the data will be changed on each channel. So the sticks and switches value range will be different, so when you're mapping the value, you will need to make sure to use correct max or min values. Also, if you turn off the transmitter, the S-bus failsafe will show as true, then you can use this to force your robot to completely stop. Then if you restart and run S-bus to UART with ROS agreement command will out as true and echo on command velocity topic, you will see that channel 2 as throttle is mapping to linear velocity x and channel 1 as steering is mapping to angular velocity z. So this is a basic channel assignment that I always use for all of my robot. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay is an online services that give you a ton of prototypes manufacturing from PCB, PCBA, CNC machining, 3D printing, and etc. With a high demand from all over the world, they are the best in quality control and keep the standard in every manufacturing process to make sure your order is as expected as you want. From a complex design or complicated structure, or high precision for assembly, or requirement for strength for your parts, from plastic to metal, you are free to select whatever you needed. You don't need to worry about a minimum order because even a single piece or as a bulk, they could manufacture from your order and ship right to your front door. Don't let your project just in mind and start making it today, so why don't you try PCBWay for your next project? Here is the same robot from previous video about DDSM115 motor control. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. Inside here, I add an RC receiver with S-bus UART converter from what we tested before to Raspberry Pi, and other components are same as last video. For more features, I add an LED for left and right wingers and also a small buzzer like a car's horn, so we can control these LED wingers and horn from radio transmitter. On first terminal, we run ROS to run DDSM115 controller, velocity control for motor control, and on second terminal, we run ROS to run DDSM115 controller, two wheels robot, and to control LED wingers and horn, we run another node as our Pi peripherals. And last terminal, we run ROS to run Logicool S-bus to UART with a parameter as well command out as true, so we can move the robot by command velocity. If I push a switch channel 7 up, you will see left LED wingers is blinking and switch down for right LED winger blinking. Then if I put channel 8 up, then it will be emergency blinking like a car, and also we can do a horn on channel 9, then it could make a sound. So we can program it when we do turning to left or right, the LED winger will be light up automatically like a real car. Now you can make it run under your control with radio controller. So in the future, if you need to move the robot to make a map from SLAM or making a waypoint, you can use the radio controller to take control. Also, it could avoid unexpected behavior that your robot is out of control, so you can at least take control by manual. And that's today's video from Robot Hacking Tips. If you like this kind of video and found something helpful, please don't forget to press like and share buttons, and also press on subscribe to see what is the Robot Hacking Tips next time. Thank you for watching and see you again.